Hello there, and welcome to Tactical Advantage, where every view gets you +2 +2. I'm here with Seth again. How you doing, Seth?
Doing well. How about you, Nate?
Pretty awesome.
Good. Good.
Pretty awesome.
That's what I like to hear.
I played in another store showdown yesterday. Brought a Palpatine yellow deck,
Mm-hmm.
and it performed as expected. It was pretty sweet.
From what I hear, that's becoming quite the meta. So look at you. You're ahead of the curve on that one.
I think I know what you're referring to. I saw a video drop about that today.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that was weird timing.
Well, I was gonna say at my store championship last weekend there was one floating around. I don't know how well it did. It was not in the final two.
Okay.
So yeah, the final two I believe were a Tarkin and a Boba Fett. Boba Fett green and Tarkin red, I think. Maybe Tarkin blue. I don't remember. So, but Boba Fett ended up taking it.
I glanced at that video for like half a second. The deck was nothing like the one I was running.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting, and he had made it. He was like, made some special modifications myself, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So
Cool.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
How about you? Have you played in any tournaments recently?
Which part of our topic today? I've been doing a lot of judging lately, but today I did play. We were odd for locals, and we only had 5 players, so I judged, and I was the sixth player, and I came in third, which is weird because I only lost to one guy. But granted, I guess strength of schedule, that must have been it. Is that because I only lost to the guy who won it all at the very end, and I was running a Vader red or Vader green.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of the expensive cards yet, right? Like your Vader green doesn't include Vaders.
Well, it's been a mutual friend lended me a deck. It's
Okay.
so yeah, that it's got lots of expensive cards in it. So
Okay.
basically, my strategy, his strategy, what we kind of settled on is, weather the early storm, ramp up, and you're hopefully turn 5, your overwhelming barrage. Hold tight. Turn 6, turn 7, both Vaders are coming out basically, and then fill in your board with a. Hopefully, I'm getting a cell block guard basically
Okay.
to kind of cover any issues that they might be having. The only thing I was running into was that man, at my locals, it is still aggro, and it's a space aggro. So it's
Really?
Sabine space or Leia space. I was running into it all day long, and the Sabine, I got her. So this was the finals, and this was the guy that won. I kept getting her to like 25, 26, but I just couldn't
Okay.
close it out. Yeah, before one of the games, he got me before turn 6 because he just got everything he needed, and I was just like, all right, just got to weather the storm. I could not weather the storm, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should talk about that more next time.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. I haven't played a lot of Vader. So in my first round in my store showdown, I had a bye,
Yeah.
and so the judge who wasn't playing because he was the only employee, he was working the store.
Gotcha.
Hey, why don't you just come up front and hang out with me? And I played a Vader green deck against him just for funsies that I've been kind of toying with.
Yeah.
And I did get to live the dream of on the Vader flip turn, I had 2 Mahdi's in my hand and a lightsaber. So, when you have Mahdi and you play another Mahdi, he defeats himself
Yep.
and Vader readies. So I got 3 swings with Vader at 8 damage a pop, and that was very satisfying.
That's pretty sick. That was one of my judge questions that came up actually this past time was doing playing multiple K2SOs because it was defeating
Nice.
itself, and I'm like, yeah, you can keep blowing yourself up, and you can pick which one to keep. So because one of them had the experience or had experience tokens on it, so uh, probably my coolest moment with Vader last week during the championship because I had to be the buy basically that we were odd. And so basically, I was just letting them do something and play me. But I was able to on turn uh, 6, 7, and 8. I played Vader, Vader, Vader.
Wow.
Because I got all three. It's I just kept smashing his things, and then I was just like, all right, I'm gonna replace this Vader with another Vader, and replace this Vader with another Vader. Yeah, it was the dream. It was pretty awesome.
You attacked with the Vader before replacing it?
Yes. Oh yes. The ambush. Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cool. That is a pretty good segue because I kind of wanted to ask you about judging.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
I've never done it before.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think that I know the rules well enough.
Yeah.
In a pinch, someone could lean over and say, "Hey, is this right?" And I could fill in. But you've done it a lot.
Yeah, locally, just we've had issues with people being consistent or being inconsistent with showing up, and then people not knowing all the rules. And which I'll say that I'm not like the king or anything like that. I don't know everything, but I have a pretty good idea of how things interact. And what's nice is a lot of cards kind of play off other cards or are similar to other cards, like aggression does similar things to like any of those double color cards do things that other cards do, and that's what it always seems like people have questions about, or at least during the store championship I kept getting questions like that. And so it's be cool. I printed out all the rules, so I have that, and then I also check Reddit just to double check, just because if you it's a pretty easy Google search to figure out some because someone's asked the question more than likely before.
Have you had to deal with any like unsportsmanlike conduct or cheating or anything like that?
No, everyone's pretty chill, and I guess like the only time that someone kind of because for mine I said that like, so I don't know why the computer was not cutting to top 8 already. We knew that. And so I said that we are just going to Swiss till we get it. And I explained the rules, that I said that like, all right, this is how this is going to go down, because I didn't want, because if you're playing your third game, both players just take a loss if time runs out.
If they've each won
one, and then like you get to, I also like, I basically made a bunch of custom rules and said, all right, this is what we're going to do. Everyone agrees to this, right? And they agreed to it, and then still got frustrated when it came down to it, because they were just, and then I explained, I'm like, no, we all agreed that this is how we're going to do this. And they were just like, yeah, but we want to play it out. And I'm like, we're not going to keep everybody here, guys. It's not like, this is what we agreed, what we're going to do. And so that's the only kind of pushback. But all I did is I just said, we all agreed, we're all going to do this. And it turned out to be okay. So
I had the opposite of that yesterday at my short showdown.
Yeah.
Before the tournament, they said, okay, we're going to do 4 rounds with a cut to top 4.
Yeah.
So whatever we go, report our games, and he just starts handing out prizes. We're like, wait a minute, we thought we were cutting to the top 4.
Yeah.
And, I didn't complain because, I won. But like, in the final match, my opponent and I didn't even mess with sideboards because we thought nothing was on the line. We thought we'd play again later in the top cut.
Oh, okay. So interesting.
Kind of weird. I like your route better.
Yeah.
You say this is what we're going to do, and you stick to it. Even
no, we like, and that's the whole thing, is just that, like, be cool. Like, and you spell out all the rules, then you have them pay, and then you have them sit down. And what I do too is like, I double check everybody's standings, basically, where it's like I go down the line twice and make sure, all right, I read all these right. This is how all these fell down. All right, and then I reset reset their seating and stuff like that.
I get you.
Yeah,
that's smart too. That has come up only once, and unfortunately, the casualty was the prettiest half of this channel, who's not really on it.
Yeah.
So Bridget was at a tournament with me,
mm-hmm.
And I won, right? But she had gone 2-2, and we realized like she was getting paired down. So she was 2-0 playing against one-on-ones and stuff. And I probably should have said something.
Yeah.
But at the end of the tournament, he had her as 1-3 when she was 2-2.
Oh, interesting.
So,
Yeah, no, I don't want any kind of electronic or human error. So that's why I make sure and just like, all right, this is the like X and Y. I have X at 2-0. Is this true? Y? Yes. And then I go down to the next one. So
would you for sure take Fantasy Flight's test when it comes out? Do you know about that?
No, I didn't know about that. I probably should though.
Supposedly,
I did not. I'd heard rumor that they were going to do a judge because someone asked me. They were like, "Well, how'd you become a judge?" I was like, "I was asked."
Yeah.
Yeah. So
supposedly, I think between the release of Set 2 and Set 3, I think they're going to release like an official program where you have to pass a test or something like that to be certified. In my mind, like it's probably open book, right? Like as long as you know where to go to get the answers, you'll probably pass.
Yeah. Interesting. I hope I do well. I'll have to study. That'll have to be maybe that'll be a future episode. Is studying up.
And I'm guessing you can take it multiple times.
Oh, I'm sure too. That it's. I think the tricky part about the game is kind of card interaction and like what order things can fall into. Like I was reading really heavily into. I'm sure you saw Pre-Vizsla.
Mm-hmm.
And like how like so if he were to steal a weapon that says like on attack, where it's like he's already declared the attack, he's not getting those bonuses and stuff like that. Stuff like that I think is going to be kind of the tricky stuff because I feel like that your imagination can run away with it where it's like, oh my gosh, this is a crazy he's attacking for 11 like or whatever. So
nice.
Yeah, I just won the game.
So what are the hardest questions that you've gotten?
I thought so aggression says stand a character up that has 3 power or less.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Someone was trying to argue with me that like, well, my character does have 2 power, and I'm like, no, but it has a bunch of upgrades on it. It is not 2 power anymore.
Yeah.
So that was a big one that had to make sure that was okay. And then also same deck. Man, what are they called? Who's the 3-drop that whenever you play a red character you can damage someone?
Fight.
Yeah, so they were trying to get that boost on flipping Sabine. And I'm like, that's not playing a card. That's flipping a card. It's a different interaction. So yeah, those that on top of the K2SO multiple blowing itself up. Those have been like the 3 really big questions that I've had. Other than that, the group's been pretty chill. They kind of seem to understand the rules, which is good.
I didn't even realize you could pick which instance of K2 got destroyed. It makes sense that you can, but I just would have always kept the new one.
Yeah, the whole thing is like what we were talking about today was that the one he was gonna replace had a bunch of tokens on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that at least I believe that's how the interaction works, is that you can keep whichever one. You don't have to replace it.
Yeah, that sounds right. I just, I got a +2 this episode. I got a little bit better at the game. That's good.
Well, there you go. I'm happy I could help.
I've got one rules question for you.
Oh gosh, don't put me on the spot. Oh no.
Top quiz time. So
oh no, why would you do this to me?
Well, I'll start with a softball. Okay.
Why are you doing this?
Well, it happened in my Palp Yellow deck.
Okay.
Right? So it's just timely. So you play Darth Vader, you trigger the ambush and the wind blade, right?
Yep. You're searching for cards right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You go grab a snowtrooper lieutenant.
Yes.
Can the snowtrooper lieutenant make Vader attack?
I don't think he makes him attack again, does he?
You're correct.
Yeah, because he's already attacked. He's already declared the attack with the ambush, right?
Well, so he hasn't readied yet.
Yeah.
with ambush, right? So he's entered play, but he's still exhausted.
Yeah.
So you're right. In that instance, you cannot give Vader the +2 attack to make him attack for 7.
Yeah.
So here's the real tricky part, because now we're combining it with yellow. Instead of playing Darth Vader, I sneak attack Darth Vader. I look through my top 10 cards. I find a snowtrooper lieutenant. Can I attack twice with Vader?
Okay. You sneak attack. Okay, so you've snuck attack. You bring him out.
So he enters play ready.
Yep.
I find a snowtrooper lieutenant.
Exactly, and now you play the snowtrooper.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't think you can do it. Can you do that?
You can totally do it. So,
what? I don't understand. Wait, how does? So where's the second? Wait. Okay, so there you go. I get there. Now you got to teach me something, because that's weird. Sneak attack's a weird card. That's the whole like.
Yeah.
I the more I'm learning about that card, the crazier it is.
This is a super crazy interaction.
Yeah.
So sneak attack, the unit enters ready, right?
Yes, it does.
Attack, you play Vader for basically 6 instead of 7, right?
Yeah.
He enters play ready.
Yeah.
You trigger the when played and the ambush, and you say, I'm going to trigger the when played first.
Yeah.
Okay. So you search through the top 10 cards. You find a snowtrooper lieutenant. You play him. Now Vader attacks for 7.
Yeah. And then after that, you get to then still do your ambush?
After that, the ambush triggers.
Interesting.
And you get to attack for 5. So the 7 attack has to be first. You
yeah.
5 and then the 7, right? Because if you ambush him first, he is exhausted, and sneak attack doesn't like ready him again, right?
Yeah.
You entered play and you wasted it on the ambush. But as long as you do the when played first, if you find a snowtrooper lieutenant,
yeah,
you can attack for 7 on base or unit, and then ambush.
Then smash into one of their other things. Okay,
it's pretty sick.
That's pretty cool. Okay, well there you go. You got me all taught up. I don't know how often I'm going to see that, but there you go.
Yeah, you'd have to have weird players like me who like combos and stuff like that.
Well, the stars have to align for you to be able to get those cards in your hand all at the same time. Or did that happen often with you?
Not often, but what made it even more fun is I had Bib Fortuna out too, so I did it.
So it's even cheaper.
Resources instead.
Yep. You're a monster.
It was a fun game.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very fun game. That's why you build decks like that, though.
Yeah, exactly. So you can get Vader out, several turns earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, people. We need to ask the hard-hitting questions. Now that he's tried to get me, I'm going to try and get him with a with a zinger, okay? All right, dude. You've played in 6 store championships, okay? You've won 4 of them. 4 of them. You got second in another, and then one, you were like a tumbleweed in the wind. You just didn't even... Let's talk to the people at home, because I don't know this legend. What happened in that tournament?
Yeah. It's
bad matchups? You forgot your deck at home? What happened?
I had my deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me answer that a couple ways.
Okay.
I think this game in set 1 is phenomenal because you can take a ton of good decks to a tournament, and there's just a lot of options to choose from, and they're all like pretty competitive. Mm-hmm. So I've won 4 store championships with 4 different decks, but I also took a deck that I thought was going to be great and got completely crushed. It didn't make the top 8. Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Right? That's impressive. But yeah, I think the key is picking the right deck for the right week. And I think that week, in addition to me making a few mistakes, I think I just didn't pick the right deck. So that week in particular, I was playing an Iden Green deck, which I'm pretty comfortable playing.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make any egregious errors.
No. Yeah. No crazy misplays.
Yeah. And I thought it would be pretty well suited to what folks were playing. But the tournament was right after there had been a big tournament. I think it was in Las Vegas or California, somewhere on the West Coast. But it was won by an Iden blue deck that was just super control heavy, right? So the plan was to vigilance, restock like crazy. It was playing out of aspect, bounty hunter crews, and spark of rebellions to rip your restocks and to, go get more, recycle the big events. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think anybody would run that deck.
Yeah.
For multiple reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wrong. I
gotcha.
Wrong.
Yeah.
So ran into that, and basically people who were anticipating that. So like, I played against a Luke Blue,
mm-hmm.
and I was like, oh, okay, this should be fine. I mean, obviously he's going to be playing Vigilance.
Yeah.
But he was running restocks and Avengers out of aspect, right? And so like at one point,
how is he even getting up there?
Because these games are all going super, super long, right? It
Gotcha.
was everyone was running a control deck.
Everybody's just turtling basically until the end.
I think there were like 20 players or so, and every game was going super long. So I thought I had won when I got to 9 resources and threw down a Relentless.
Yeah.
Right. And maybe I did it on 10 or something, but somehow or other, an Avenger comes out for 9 and blows up Relentless.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoops.
Crazy.
So contrast that with like this last weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
I took a Boba yellow deck, very much a combo, kind of tricksy deck with sneak attack and all sorts of weird tricks going on.
Yeah. What were you sneak attacking in?
Mostly Vaders and Devastators, maybe a Relentless to close out the game, or a Reinforcement Walker, right? So you can basically heal your base for 6 and hit theirs for 6 in 2 cards. And again, the goal is to do all those things 2 resources cheaper than normal, right?
Yeah.
Bib fortuning your sneak attack. So it gets pretty fun.
Yeah.
But this week, going into this week, I think I did a little bit better analysis of, what to expect, right? Because I think right now kind of the new hotness is Boba Yellow. So anyone who's really trying to win is going to be on Boba Yellow. And that has basically pushed Sabine and Leia out, right?
Someone needs to come to my locals to explain that. I think part of it too is that Sabine and Leia are relatively cheap, and finding cards at least in my neck of the woods is a little tough still. So I think that's part of the problem.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Around here, I think there's enough players that have a complete play set that they'll be playing what they want to play.
Yeah, and there's plenty of people that are just starting in my neck of the woods. So, cool. Yeah, which is cool. I totally love that. But like the easiest things for them to build are Tarkin, Sabine, Leia. Yeah. And so I don't blame them. I know that if they had access to more cards, that they would totally be buying them or totally be like playing other things.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I figured there's no Sabine, there's no Leia this week.
Mm-hmm.
So that opens up Palp, basically.
Yeah.
And I didn't end up playing up against a Boba Yellow, but I tested the heck out of it.
Yeah.
And was winning pretty consistently, right? Mm-hmm. And so the deck, in addition to all the fun tricks, it has the normal green plan to just ramp into Relentless before they can Super Laser Blast.
Yeah.
And I did end up playing a Vader Blue who was on that plan, and Relentless came out, and it's kind of over.
Yeah, because it can't Relentless. It ignores the first event played, right?
Yeah, the first event played has no effect.
Gotcha. So then you can get around the Super Laser Blast, basically.
Yeah. So maybe they can, wait until 9 and then restock and then play super laser blast.
Yeah.
But at that point, they're in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you've already swung with it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And another thing, Boba Yellow is pretty strong, partly because of Bodhi, right? It kind of denies you options and gets rid of your hand.
Yep.
And Palpatine kind of counters that, right? Because in this deck, I have so many little puny guys that I'm happy to sacrifice to draw a card that, even if Bodhi hits me once or twice a game, I'm going to have way more cards than the Boba player is.
Yeah.
And so I think I was following this process a lot better, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's popular right now? What are the people who are really going to try to win going to be playing?
Yeah.
What's popular where I'm playing, and what beats those two things?
Yeah.
So on the Iden Green, I didn't follow the process.
I gotcha. Well, I mean, you didn't. I mean, and there even before it just shows too that like Unlimited's a game of chance. You know what I mean? You may just have a bad draw and stuff like that, and then you mulligan, and then you have yet another bad draw, because that's happened to me. Somehow you get a worse draw. But like you're also, there's a lot of chance with just what are you going to be bringing in comparison to what you're going to be going up against. So I wouldn't knock yourself too much for that.
Oh, I'm not knocking myself. I'm pretty happy. I have been doing something kind of fun where I once I win with a deck, I kind of retire it for store showdowns. I mean, if we're getting to big tournaments. If I was going to Gen Con, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But so now I've like eliminated 4 decks from what I can play in a store showdown.
I gotcha. Well, I mean, again, is the sky the limit, or are you going to be like, all right, 5 under your belt, and then you're going to be good?
I mean, I don't think I'm going to throw games, but
no. That's what I'm saying. Are you going to keep just going to keep finding these places and keep trying to make this happen?
Well, there's a lot of stores near me.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was going to say that, like, because in town there was only 2, so
yeah. I missed at least like 3 or 4. Like over Memorial Day weekend, there were 2 that I didn't go to that were within 30 minutes of me because I was not playing Star Wars cards. I was hanging out.
Well, that's important too. Star Wars cards is fun, but at the same time, Memorial Day stuff's important too. Yeah.
Cool. Any other thoughts on picking a tournament deck?
I think also too that like your deck's got to speak to you. I think that's important. That like you and I think growing up had the whole like this is totally a Seth deck, if that makes sense. That this and I think that's important to you too. Is that like your deck's kind of got to speak to you. It kind of has to fit your play style. And what's nice about a limited is I think that there's so many options that you could find kind of like you could fit pretty much anything into that slot, basically. That I don't feel like that there is a truly a junk leader, if that makes sense. That yes, there are some that are better than others, but like people are theory crafting all left and right, and I feel like that they're making it work. I think that there are some that are like definitely like S tier, if you will.
Yeah.
But I feel like that no one is like truly like F tier. That I don't know. I keep hearing like IGD8 is not great, but at the same time, I've heard if you just stack him with a bunch of little guys, that it can get pretty heinous, basically, and he can win pretty fast.
I have not considered building IG88 or Jin yet.
Yeah, I know Jin's a little rough as well.
I like the point you're making though.
Yeah,
and it is a good one. Like I have not taken an aggro deck to any of the tournaments I've gone to.
Yeah.
And I keep thinking about it, but it's just not quite my style.
And see, I like to play aggro, and also it's easier like because a lot of times I end up I'm the buy round basically. So it's like, okay, I got to make sure that I can be answering questions too at the same time while also playing. And so it's kind of perfect with that, because like Leia, she can I can do like two things and then be like, all right, I'm grabbing initiative, and then I've got to go help this person. Yeah, so it's very helpful with that. It's crazy how fast like Sabine can be, though. Like it is wild that um again, I was dead by turn 6. It was crazy. Like I didn't even get a chance, and I was even ramping. Like I hadn't even like I got my super laser technician out. It's still, and I killed him, and still I couldn't even get to the I couldn't get there basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think I mean sometimes it has to be the game plan, but I think oftentimes against Sabine, ramping is maybe not the way to go.
yeah, no, I mean at the same time I'm smashing my characters into their characters and stuff like that. Yeah. No, I gotcha. I gotcha.
Well, what are you looking forward to next?
Are you talking about for are you talking about for like the next set? I mean, we're already kind of gearing up for the
Can be.
Yeah, we were already talking about that like July 4th weekend, man. That's pre-release. Get pumped. So we were already kind of chit-chatting and talking about that today in the store, and that's what I was talking about, the Darth Maul Chewbacca, because everyone was like, I don't think that works. I'm like, of course it works. Well, I'm going to lay out the plan just so you'll know this is what I'm trying to do. So, yeah.
I don't think it'll be good, but at some point I will play You're My Only Hope Endless Legion deck.
Yeah?
To try to, live the dream of turning all my resources into dudes.
I like, so do you think there's going to be more ramp in the next set that we just haven't seen yet?
Well, the point of playing You're My Only Hope with it is that you don't need to ramp. You just literally play it for free.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to make it the top card of your deck.
But yeah, how are you going to make sure it gets to the top card of your deck?
R2, 3PO for a cause I believe in.
Okay, just hope that you could make it happen.
Just all the filters,
Gotcha. Okay.
Like I said, I don't think it'll be good.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do it one time before I put that card in the binder for forever.
I gotcha. Well, I don't know, man. There may be more ramp coming where you could actually get to it. Because they're not stupid. Like, they have thought through all of this. I'm so impressed, and they continue to impress me, that it's like they are not just throwing out dumb things. I feel like everything has a purpose, everything has a strategy. It's kind of wild how thought out all this is, at least so far.
And actually, I mean, I have gotten to 14 resources before.
Yeah.
Right? If you're playing against a Vader blue or an Iden blue or an Iden red, I mean, it is possible.
Yeah.
So even just having the silver bullet in a sideboard might be worth it. Yeah.
I just love the idea that you're just resourcing all these huge, terrible, nasty things. And then 14 resources later, and then it's just boom, here come the Star Destroyers, all of them.
Yeah, and I think the key is get a couple moddies in there, or some way to ready the things that you
play
put in there.
Yep.
Otherwise, you need Relentless to be in there, and then you need to grab initiative so that they don't just super blazer blast everything.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Why?
What are you looking forward to? Or is that it? Is that the card that you're like, this speaks to me? Do you think there's going to be an expensive one of all the cards? Because that was a double green. Do you think there's going to be a double yellow and a double red and blue that are going to be?
That's what it seemed like to me based on the social posts.
Yeah.
Like, vote on which one you wanted to see.
Gotcha. So you think they'll all be really expensive ones?
Well, I don't think they'll all be like super high costed, if that's what you mean.
Okay, yeah, that's what I meant was like, do you think that there will be high costed ones, or do you think that they would be I guess just more fitting to the color?
Maybe you're right, since in this set it was a pattern that they all cost 4.
Yep.
Right? I don't think they'll all cost 14.
Yeah.
But maybe they are like the end game reasons to play
that color.
I like where your head's at.
Again, they everything's thought through. That I look forward to the weekdays when all these cards get spoiled and stuff like that.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably what I'm looking forward to the most, is just having it all available.
Yeah.
I haven't put too much thought into like the pre-release, looking at what would be strongest and sealed.
Mandalorians
Probably.
and Underworld. I think those are your two keywords that you should be like, do they have this? Play it. I mean, I think honestly that's kind of the what they're leaning more towards. Kind of like how in this last set, Rebel and Imperial, just put those things together. They should mesh well.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah,
you're probably right. Maybe Cad Bane and Bo-Katan will be kind of the sealed leaders that you want to see.
Yes, I think that I think Gar Saxon could be good as well, depending. So, I mean, there's just a lot of Mandalorians. Yeah. Like, it's surprising that that there's way more than what I thought that we've gotten way more than what I thought we were gonna get. I'll tell you what, you don't want to run Hunter. Like, just don't. Yeah,
I'm really hoping that we're missing a key Hunter piece.
Me too, because oh my gosh, like I want to make that work, but every time I look, I just kind of like do what you just did, where I just chuckle and I go, maybe in like another 3 sets they'll be good. Like Crosshairs, like they're all good on their own. It's weird that like Crosshair's good, but I would want him in like Tarkin or something like that. Yeah, like Wrecker's really good. But, like, he doesn't need the other Bad Batch. He's just insane on his own. So, right. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. I thought there would be, like, some sort of Sabine card that could, like, put them all together. But I guess not.
What do you mean, Sabine card?
Or not Sabine, I'm sorry, a Hera card that could, like, play them so then it doesn't matter about their aspects.
Doesn't Echo do that? Or not Echo, Omega?
Yeah, but she could die very easily. Yeah, that's the problem. That it's just kind of like, oh, now there's a giant target on your back. And it's only the first one you play every turn. So, like, yeah, no thanks. No thanks. Yeah. So I want to make them work. I mean, I'm also really curious to see what Kylo Ren and Rey do. So I just... we've seen like what the leaders do, but I'm curious I assume they're going to be legendaries.
Oh, you think they'll be units of?
I think that they'll be legendary units. So kind of like how Luke and Vader were legendaries in the last set. So,
well, Luke and Vader were the starters, and we know. Mando
yes, but no, I'm talking about their units.
Yeah.
So,
I'm with you.
And Mando is a legendary. Maybe when Moff Gideon, maybe he will also be a legendary. His unit card.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for hanging out, and
thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Of course. Mm-hmm. Before we wrap up, I did want to mention, I watched your villain tier list video.
Yeah.
I was cracking up so much in that. Yeah. Multiple times the General Grievous.
Dude, I feel really bad because I told you to keep it under time, and then he submitted that, and he's like, it has to be this long. And we were like, we can't watch it. He goes, no, it has to be that. And I'm like, no, we limited everybody to 1 minute. And his co-host was even like, it has to be this long, guys. You must trust us.
It was so good.
Yes, it was really good. And I feel bad that yours was not.
No. It's all good. It's all good. It's hard to describe how much one appreciates Grand Admiral Thrawn in 1 minute. But
yes.
I was cracking up, and I was cracking up at you cracking up. That was hilarious. There were other parts that were funny too, but I was impressed. I thought you guys pretty much nailed it. I might have moved 2 or 3 people around, but
okay. Here, I got a question. I have a question for you though.
Shoot.
What do you think about Baylan Skoll? Do you think he should be an A tier?
I could be wrong, but I think that he's just another story that like we never hear the end of.
Exactly.
Kind of where his character is.
Yeah.
So he's not an A tier for me.
Thank you. I was going to say that. I'm like, even as a villain, I'm like, his lightsaber's not even red. Like, he is a fallen Jedi. He's not a nice guy. I'll give you that. But like, he's not out there doing dastardly deeds. I think that he's a means to an end kind of guy.
Yeah, and I mean, we don't entirely know what he was after, but I mean,
No, I assume that it's something super horrible. That I assume that he's going to try and like break the cycle. Like very Daenerys, I'm going to break the wheel and everything like that, which could have horrible ramifications. But I think that all he was doing was he wanted to get Thrawn out back into the universe. So no one will be on his trail, basically, while he's doing his thing.
And in my mind, like, so I think Connor talked about him like being a foil for Ahsoka.
Yes. Like, good antagonist. That was the whole thing.
Right.
Antagonist.
But in my mind, Thrawn is actually the antagonist, right? Like that's been building for like seasons of other shows.
Yes, he's he's the big bad boogeyman. Yeah.
Right. Like everything will be terrible if Thrawn comes back. All we have to do is avoid Thrawn coming back. So like Thrawn is A.
Yeah.
So the guy whose mission it is to like just find Thrawn cannot be A.
I gotcha. Okay. No, you're fine. I didn't want to put him in A tier, or I will put him at the very bottom of A tier. I would just throw it out there. So I'm glad that you liked the episode, though.
It was very fun. It was very fun. Give me your 1 minute version of the Acolyte first 2 episodes, because I don't think I've seen you guys review that yet.
Yeah, it is up. You should go check it out. By the way, everyone at home, check out Beyond the Dune Sea. That's the show that I'm from. It's a YouTube show. Kyle and I have fun on there. We just talk Star Wars, anything and everything. So it's it's a good time.
It is highly entertaining.
Yeah,
and a much greater production value than this one.
Hey, you'll get there.
That is nuts.
You'll get there. But so I liked more than I didn't like. I am curious to see where it goes. My favorite characters were I liked Osha. I liked Osha and Pip's interactions. That I think her little droid is really, really cool, and I like the kind of slice of life stuff. I'm not super high on
my slice of life.
Like them just hanging out and working on stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like that, and then chit-chatting, like her plugging him in and like him being sassy to her, like that kind of stuff. That I just dig that kind of like slice of life, just like this is what they do on the day-to-day rather than, seeing some big battle. Like the answer to the did Seth like the fighting style? I thought all the hand-to-hand stuff was really good. I did not like when they started jumping around. I thought that they seemed too weightless. And my argument is like in Empire Strikes Back, how Vader jumps down the stairs towards Luke. Mm-hmm. And he uses the Force clearly to like slow himself down, but like he still has weight to him. And I feel like in the wire work in this, they seem too weightless. So, and I get it with the Force, you can kind of do anything you want, but I feel like there still needs to be some more weight to your movement.
I'm with you.
So yeah, I'm curious about next week. So that's a good thing. I thought the Wookiee looked terrible at the end. I thought that like it looked like someone had just put on the suit and the suit had just got finished, and it just didn't look very. It looked out of place. If that makes sense, I would have had it roll around in the dirt for a while or something like that.
And that's Giannis, right? The guy who plays Chewbacca.
Yes, that is him. And that's not knocking him. I just think his suit doesn't look great.
Yeah, that's... so I'm thinking the same thing. Like, he knows how to do a Wookiee.
Yeah.
Like, better than anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree. I think I've seen shots, like, of him in trailers or maybe previews for next week that looked amazing.
Yeah.
In last week's episode, I agree.
It looked He looked like Harry and the Hendersons. I just was like, I don't know what's happening. Yeah. So, there's my 1 minute review.
Okay.
Yeah.
So far, I find the story kind of one-dimensional and the characters, like, but I think they'll fix that.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. There's a mystery afoot. Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, she's got to kill a Jedi too, because this is what she's supposed to do, and she hasn't done that yet. I
thought she killed 2 already.
No, but I mean, like, she cheated with one. She's cheated both times.
You mean kill a Jedi with no weapon?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So she's got to like actually do her mission. So that's got to happen. Sorry, Wookiee. It's probably what's going to happen to you.
Yeah, seems fair.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right.
Well, good catching up. Thanks for being. We'll talk again soon.
Yes.
In the meantime, thanks for joining us for Tactical Advantage, where every view gets you a +2 +2.